Good evening, Savages, and welcome back to another episode of Savagely Paranormal. We are going to talk about what happens when witchcraft goes wrong. Some true stories about witchcraft things and Ouija boards and all of the mayhem and chaos that can ensue.
Because people are stupid. But I also come into this category, so it's great.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So we'll just start with that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as most of it has been mentioned for the last 3 years, that we all do practice some form of witchcraftery. I use a lot of communication type things when we do our investigations. So I bought this lovely book.
What is the one thing that we tell everybody not to do?
Don't do it alone.
Yes. What was that?
Shut up.
Say that again. Don't do it.
Rule number 1, you never try anything new alone. Don't do it. You buddy system.
Even if you've been doing it for years.
Yes. So, as many know, I don't necessarily see people that are in the room that shouldn't be, but I feel them and I am very drawn emotionally to them. And I bought this lovely book to use, I really wish it was here, on one of our investigations, and it was how to basically make your seances stronger.
Yeah.
Works.
It works great.
Yes, it does.
So
Fantastic.
after one of our investigations, I was home alone and I was redoing my spare bedroom into my office space, and I saw my book and I was reading it and I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. And I'm like, I've done it before. I light a candle. I allow for communication, but I am usually with at least one other person. I decided on a full moon, late at night, where all of those are not good, to read this book in a certain passage, to light my candle, and I wanted to see how far I could go. And I went a little too far. So, yeah, I pushed myself too far, and I almost got, we call it getting stuck, but basically I was stuck in an area inside my own head that I shouldn't have been in. I was able to get out, but it was not like I had nightmares. I had nightmares for about a month. I was afraid to be alone. I was not allowed to do seances for a little while because it really messed me up. So, don't do that. Rule number 1 of witchcraft of any kind is there's a buddy system. And if you've never done it before, don't.
Any sort of spirit communication, buddy system.
Yeah, don't do it alone because it's not safe.
Yeah. Did you learn your lesson from that?
Yeah, I don't do it. I don't practice in my own house anymore unless it's, I shouldn't say that. I don't do seances in my house anymore unless I have somebody with me. As far as like picking up like one of my witchcraft books to put something together is what I'll do.
Yeah.
But as far as like the seance-y parts, no, I don't do those anymore in my own house by myself.
I mean, seances are pretty much like, they fall under the same category as like why you don't do Ouija boards alone.
I don't do them in general, so why I thought doing this was going to be any different. I was like, no, it's not a Ouija board. It's fine.
It's not Ouija board. This
the
is
same,
fine.
It's the same
just
thing.
Spirit communication. It's fine.
It's kind of a little worse because you're allowing them into your space.
Oh, yeah, so that's the other part, too, is I allow communication, like, at me, but not, like, through me. Yeah. And typically, I have a thing, like, once I blow out the candle, the communication is done, but that night, that didn't happen. Communication continued for a while because it wouldn't shut off. I won't do that again.
No?
That was scary.
Did we learn our lesson?
Yeah, because I think I called April or I texted April and I was like, oh, I got stuck.
Yes.
She's like, and I was like, I did a seance by myself and I got stuck. And she's, oh my God, do I need to come over? Are you okay? I was like, no, I think I'm okay.
And they're texting me like, what do we do? And I'm like, did you say goodbye?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no,
That's the only thing they popped up.
I always
Did you
say goodbye. Yeah.
Did you say goodbye? Saying goodbye is the important thing. It's the most important portion of this when you're opening those kind of portals.
When you're done messed up and did everything else wrong, say goodbye.
Yeah, and then, you know, you say goodbye, and then you say, you are no longer allowed to contact me until I say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a rough month for me.
Yeah,
I was having all kinds of issues.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a couple that I don't normally, not a big Reddit fan.
I love Reddit.
Half of the stuff on there is BS.
But it's funny.
But it's funny. And so I went there for this because this is funny. Because people are stupid. So there's somebody on there that says, hey everyone, I need a little help with bleep that's happening currently. Long story short, I took all of my supplies to my best friend's house and we made a love spell jar for them.
I read that one.
Since the day after, their love life has become a whole disaster.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So they contacted a pro who said the whole spell was a mistake and an intrusion to the crush's energy cycle, which apparently we're not allowed to do. She said the spell's undone now since we regret it, is what she says. Since we regret it already, we just have to undo the jar. Thank you for all the guidance, and yes, I agree, blah, blah, blah. Made sure we perform protection beforehand and after making the stuff and only put positive intentions out. But now their crush won't even communicate with her, and she feels terribly anxious.
When you're messing with somebody else's free will, things can always backfire and go exactly the opposite of what you want it to do, which is why most, I wouldn't say all, but most people that practice don't mess with, like, with things that interfere with free will, love spells, and
that is the one
stuff like that.
That is the one thing that is across all, which church, heaven, hell, all of that is free will.
Yes.
You cannot force somebody to do something, say something, feel something they don't want to do. You cannot mess with somebody's free will. That is instant karma.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe in karma.
Yeah. Yeah. Free will is not something that most witches will interfere with. There are some that will do it that are probably very experienced in that area.
Or stupid, one of the two.
Or stupid, one or the other. I'm not judging somebody based on their own practices.
I will judge hardcore.
I try to stay out of other people's broom closets because what you do is what you do. As long as I'm not involved, get your mind out.
Closet. That's great.
There are a lot of stories that circle the interwebs about, I tried to curse this person and now my luck has been horribly wrong.
I have seen so many of those.
So when your intentions that you're doing, that you're making...
Repeat that again?
When your intentions are misaligned with what, like, your conscience says, oh, you probably shouldn't do this, but you go ahead and do it anyway, you have more of a higher risk of things
happening to you,
backfire or affecting your family or a different target that's close to the other person. You have to really watch when you do witchcraft and getting and saying exactly what you mean for things to happen, like
it's that,
money spells and stuff.
Here's a good one that goes with that.
Specific.
So this one says, she burned an incense blend to sweeten the disposition of her family that was coming over for a birthday party dinner.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
She ended up facilitating an awkward 1 hour long grief circle where they all randomly decided to share their extremely graphic childhood traumas while her boyfriend sat there dumbfounded.
Oh, I love that one. That one's great.
So that, again, be specific.
Right.
When you're doing spellcraft.
Yes.
Specific. If you want to sweeten somebody for something, you have to be specific.
Was it like the first time the boyfriend was meeting these people too?
She didn't
God.
say,
Oh,
but
God.
I would
That'd be
guess
great.
probably.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, he would. I'd never want to see that family again. I'd be like, no, I gotta go by.
Yeah, bye, I'm
Sorry.
out.
Nice
I
to
would
meet
be
you.
breaking up with that person.
Yeah, no.
Ghosting them, pretending that they just don't exist. If that happened, no, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, no. And here's another one that goes along with the whole karma thing. So this one says, her grandmother and mother were both Wicca. When they were young and when she was young and full of angst, her girlfriend at the time was being picked on by a girl. So passed her in the hallway and said, I curse you with pain in Latin, because all the cool magic in movies was said with Latin.
Oh, that's not gonna
Regardless, it worked due to my intent being so strong. 3 days later, she fell down the stairs at school and really hurt her back. She had to be airlifted to the hospital. When I found out it was her, I felt awful. That same day, I went home and was playing Xbox on my bed, sat up, did something to my back that caused me absolute agony for about a day. And I still have back problems from time to time, and doctors have no idea what's wrong.
That's like, you don't. The whole point of a curse isn't to inflict bodily harm. It's to cause mishaps, yes. But inflicting bodily harm on somebody, that crosses...
Painful magic.
Yeah, that crosses a line.
Yeah, most people don't cross that line. There are some.
Here's another
This
one.
yeah.
This one says, I did a thing right before the full moon. The day after the full moon at work, I had to process death paperwork for the same name of the person that I was thinking of when I did it.
Oh.
That's...
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't...
Like, when you said that to me earlier, I was like, yeah, no, I don't like that one at all. Because
creepy.
there are so many people with the same name. You could throw yourself into some kind of, like, spiral because you're like, oh my god, nobody's called me. Is this person really, like, dead or
Right.
whatever?
And some of those spells that you can find in books and online and stuff are literally meant to cause psychological mayhem for those kind of curses.
Right.
And sometimes when they backfire,
It's worse than what it was
it's
actually.
worse for you because it's backfiring on you. So now you're psychologically tormenting yourself instead of the
Yeah,
other person.
yeah, I don't like that.
No, you have to watch what
I
you
don't
do.
like that at all.
Magic is not a fun time game to play with. You have to really know what you're doing.
Listen. We're not going to go there.
Yeah. We're not going to go there.
I'm just trying to find this one.
I have a cool Ouija board story.
Go for it, because I'm trying to find the one I have.
I have a Ouija board gone wrong from actually Reddit, the paranormal Reddit, and this user has actually since deleted his account, so I couldn't even tell you what his username is, but he was at a summer camp when he was a kid, and the boys that he was there with, the older boys, decided to pull out a Ouija board, because why not? We're at summer camp, let's play the Ouija board.
I don't understand that, but
I don't
yes,
either.
it's so stupid.
They were all playing it, and it was answering questions and giving a name, and the only time it seemed to really work was when this user was touching the board.
Nope.
And so they were experimenting, the boys decided to experiment to see if it was him moving the board or...
If it was moving on its own.
Yeah, so they practiced and played around with using different numbers of people and different numbers and different groups of people.
None of that sounds good.
Yeah, no. And so when they finally determined that it was him that was they assumed that it was him moving the planchette across the board. They decided to try to get him to do it alone. So they blindfolded him. Oh, it gets better. They blindfolded him, and they flipped the board. So instead of, not all the way upside down, so instead of like the letters facing him, they turned it around so that the letters are facing them. He was completely blindfolded, so he couldn't see the board, and he was playing it alone, which never goes well. That is number one rule about Ouija boards.
When your hands are on the planchette, they don't move from the planchette until everybody says goodbye.
But you should also never play
alone. Yeah.
They had him using the board alone.
And backwards.
So it started to spell out, let's see, I want to get this right. So the thing called itself the Beast and the Watcher. And then it started to threaten everyone over the board. And the user felt like icy cold liquid shoot up through his arms or his veins. And he had a very strange black and white dreamlike experience where shadows, creatures, tried to drag him into fire. He was later told that he started convulsing and his eyes rolled into the back of his head, and he remembers nothing. But the boys
I hope they're traumatized now.
The boys that were there with him said that he would just sit and stare in the corner of the tent. That was it. But he remembers none of it. And needless to say, it traumatized some of them enough that they had to seek therapy. It also scared the adults that they were with, and they earned themselves a visit from the camp chaplain. But he hasn't had anything happen to him since. That would be weird. So, did they say goodbye? I don't know. Probably not. But always say goodbye.
Yes.
Because if not, you're leaving that door open. You are essentially creating a portal when you use the board.
Yep.
And in order to close said portal, you have to tell it goodbye.
Yes.
Otherwise, it just can continually let things in from the other side.
Here's one that goes with that story.
Ooh, yeah.
So, when Vince, he's now 30, was a child, one of his friends goaded him into playing with a Ouija board in his basement. Young Vince didn't expect anything out of the ordinary to happen, so he went along with it. Once they started to play, however, the lights began to flicker. The air around them grew cold, and a spirit began to communicate with them through the board. In this story, the spirit spelled out a Russian name and claimed he had been murdered. Here's where they go wrong.
Oh, no.
We took a break to make some pizza rolls. We forgot to close the circle when we were done.
No.
Oh.
That's a big no. After returning to the basement, the energy was much heavier and books and things were sprawled out on the floor, and yet the board remained perfectly still in the center of the room, just how they left it. Upon looking at the mirror that we had nearby, the eye of the Ouija board was moving sporadically in its reflection.
So you have a mirror in the basement.
And you were playing with the Ouija board in front of it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fantastically horrible idea.
And so before we run out of time, I'll tell my Ouija board story that I've told 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So growing up, my friend had one, which was really odd that out of all of my friends, she would be the one to have one. But that was like our thing. We did it all the time. Go figure. So one year, it was my birthday party, and we had a camp out in the garage because that was cool. There were no parents. It was just us, just kids. And we decided to pull out the Ouija board. We were playing with the Ouija board, and I don't remember what we were talking to or talking about, but being kids, we started getting a little disrespectful. So then it started getting a little nasty. And somebody ended up picking it up and throwing it because I don't remember if they got mad or scared, but whatever, they threw it. My girlfriend, the owner of the Ouija board, levitated this far off of the ground the lights went out and yelled at us in a voice that was not hers to do not throw the Ouija board.
Yeah.
I don't think we touched it again after that.
Yeah.
I wish you would have gotten that on camera.
We didn't have those back then.
I know.
The dinosaurs were still around. They would have stomped on them.
Yeah. I think everybody has a Ouija board story.
I don't.
Almost
You're
everybody.
special.
I don't have my own, but I have a story that my sister told us when she was a kid. She was probably like, I don't know, 15, 16. And her friends were in an abandoned trailer. And they had all the candles in the circle, all lit, and they were all playing the Ouija board. And all of a sudden, all the candles go out. And the planchette goes flying. And so they run, leaving the Ouija board there. A couple days later, they go back for it. And now they're at a different friend's house. And they start playing again without closing it the first time, and in the middle of it, the boy who owns the house, it starts levitating. He starts spinning. They closed the board this time, thankfully, but a few days later, he tried to kill his sister.
Oof. Well, that's a good time.
Yeah, like his personality after this second Ouija board experience completely changed, and it was crazy. And for a long time, I didn't touch Ouija boards for a long time. It's pretty common with my aunt has a Ouija board, and I actually have her Ouija board now, and so I know how to use one. I've been shown how to use one since I was younger. I don't always play with it, and I definitely don't ever play with it by myself.
No.
All I have to do is sit in a freaking room. That's it. That's all I have to do.
And then you start freaking out?
No. I get all the answers to the questions.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. That one night when you guys were doing it in the living room and you're asking questions and I'm just answering them because that's what was coming through in my head. And you're just like, what is happening? I'm like, I told you. Me and Ouija boards don't mesh.
But you do. You're a good validator.
Yeah, oh my God. That's like when we went to Michigan and we walked upstairs into that room that was nothing but Ouija boards.
That was awesome.
My entire body was like vibrating because I was like, this is too many.
I wanted them all.
Yeah, that was
how it is
too many at one time.
At the Grand Midway Hotel, they have at one point in time, it was the Guinness World Book of World Records largest Ouija board in the world. They have it painted on the roof.
Nice.
And then they have a room that has, like, a bunch of them.
Like the outside roof or the inside?
The outside roof.
What? Oh my God.
You can, like, and they have, like, huge planchette and stuff that you could go outside. And
that would be awesome.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God, no.
That might actually get me up on the roof.
I'm not going.
No, I'm not going out on the roof. I didn't go out on the roof the last time, but
I
peeked my head out the window and was like, oh, there's no guardrail around the roof. I am good. I'm clumsy. I can foresee myself getting too close to the edge, looking over and being like, oh no, and falling. Yeah, I'm good. We're not doing that. But there are so many Ouija boards in the Grand Midway Hotel, and they're like randomly just set everywhere because people bring Ouija boards there, use them there, get freaked out, and then leave them.
Yeah, because they don't want to take things home with them.
I found one there that I really wanted.
It makes me think of one of those old movies where you have the lightning that comes down and just pings to everything. That's how I feel about having a giant Ouija board on the roof pinging.
Somebody flies a drone over. Are you summoning demons?
See, you just take the Roomba, you set the Roomba out on it and let it do the work.
Why? Why would you do that? We're done.
All right, guys.
Oh my God. I can't. I'm gonna have to go home and cleanse.
Just have the Roomba run
Satan?
across the
question mark?
Are you there?
have the Roomba run across the giant Ouija board on the roof. That'd be hilarious.
I wanted a Ouija board rug just in my house because of the aesthetic, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, because I'm gonna have a Roomba.
Every time you do that, you poof. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello?
No, we're not
You
doing
summoned
that.
me.
Oh my god, I can't even think about that now. Oh, that's terrifying.
It would be hilarious. And that kind of makes me want to paint a giant one on the floor here.
Yes. We can't paint it, but we can make one on a rug. We can paint one on a rug, and then we can get a
Roomba. See what happens. See the chaos that it causes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a day that I'm here by myself.
the Roomba just starts going off on its own. The lights
And then
start
she's
flickering.
calling.
Stupid witch starts cackling.
And then she calls us and she's like,
What the hell did you guys
have
do?
to get back here now. I don't care where you are. You have to leave and come back here now before I set the whole place on fire.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
We still have to
We
make
could
our
do it
table.
in the basement. We could put it in the basement. You
Yes.
don't go down there by yourself.
Oh my god. No. Alright, guys. I think that's.
I think that's it.
we're done.
Clearly, we're a little too slap happy with this.
We can do it in the basement, and then we can put warding on the steps so it can't come up the steps to get you. How's that?
That face says no.
We're done.
I don't like any of that. At all.